Hello everyone, it's now 6:35 p.m. So, as usual, I have a whole lot on my mind to talk about. Excuse me. So, it's pretty early and I'm sleepy. When I came back came back from dinner, it took a few minutes, but then this perp was doing the tapping again. I just want to be left alone. You know. So that and me, you know, the itching is not as bad as a few days ago, but I think one of those Uber rides from last week, the lady had a dirty car. She had a bad attitude and a dirty car. And she had a bad attitude and a dirty car. And I think that she gave me bed bugs for the fourth damn time. Well, I ended up with bed bugs for the fourth time because of her. Third or fourth time. And she threw up devil horns hand signs shortly before I got out of the car. So, you know, they have certain instances where, you know, taking taxi, Uber, or something is necessary, because I can have moments where I might be going somewhere where the buses don't run, or go somewhere where either where the buses don't run, or where you know, oh, excuse me, sorry, where the buses don't run, or the fact that if I might have a lot of groceries or something, or a lot of bags to carry, or some other reasons, you know. So, this video, I know is going to be long, because I have a lot to say in this video, a lot to talk about. Excuse me. So I think they're hitting me in my head with the directed energy weapons in multiple different areas, especially like causing pain to shoot from way here all the way to my right eye, and kind of trying to hurt my teeth as well, like they're causing pressure and pain. So, excuse me. And the pain feels kind of like almost like an electroshock kind of pain. And they're trying to stop me from talking. So, you know, I had to, and I'm almost out of it. You know, I ordered excuse me, the peppermint oil soap, and even hand wash my clothes with the peppermint oil soap, since they don't have a laundromat or a laundry room here. But as I said, on this busy intersection, I think that they need like the pedestrian signs for the cross. I don't think they have pedestrian signs, and the crosswalks are scary and dangerous. These are two main streets with two main intersections. So and then on one of the streets on the other side, they're doing like some like serious construction. So it's dangerous and difficult. Excuse me. For me the perps already know, in person and online perps, they already know where I'm at. Fraudulently and illegally. But I'm leaving. I have to leave out of here tomorrow and go somewhere else. So, excuse me. So, they do have a laundromat. I found out there's a laundromat across the street. But as I said, like one time, a couple of months ago, I tried to cross the street. A couple of times I tried to cross the street, and it's really scary and dangerous, trying to cross the street. And the cars do not slow down or stop. And it's traumatizing and scary. But that's less money I had to spend for me to like this morning, as I said, I washed this shirt by hand. I've been so poor and broke a lot of the times. Been having to even when I wasn't homeless, living in Denton, Texas, living in Los Angeles, living in Jefferson, Shrewsbury. I've had moments where I've been so poor and broke that I've had to wash certain garments by hand wash my clothes. Not all the time, but sometimes. Excuse me. Or when I was living in Los Angeles, my last $3 or $4 of the month would be like the 25th of the month. And I think I got some it feels like I got something like a something like a eyelash that in my eye or something. But anyway, when I was living in Los Angeles, it would be somewhere between the 21st and the 25th, or as late as the 27th of the month. And that would be, the last of my money. The last between $3 and $5 of my money to go to the laundromat, and then spend no money and have no money until I get my first of the month as a side check. But that would be like 20 something dollars, but after the biological parents passed away. Or no, in Los Angeles it was a little more, a couple of hundred. But then away from Los Angeles, yeah, it'd be like $24 or something. And then the rest would be like a certain amount. So, excuse me. So, you know, but I mean, as I said, I have financially struggled my entire life pretty much. And if somebody had to resort to taking out, you know, any kind of loan, payday loan, or well, I haven't taken out payday loan in years. And last I knew, I didn't even qualify. I tried to even get a payday loan for the biological mom Frances funeral to try to get down there. And I was denied a payday loan. They said I didn't make enough money. I didn't get enough money. My income wasn't high enough. Excuse me. So I think the last time I did have any payday loans was like before Hurricane Katrina. Payday loans and credit cards and stuff. But I was always able to pay it off and be in good standards. But once Hurricane Katrina happened, everything got worse. You know. So, but I was already, struggling, and then dealing with biological family members taking advantage of me, taking advantage of my money. You know. Excuse me. So, yeah. Um. So, like, I have a lot to say, but my mind is like, I'm trying to figure out where to start. you know. So, but one thing, the online perps and my twin sister and her cult members, her cult followers, they will all complain about my videos being so long, but they'll watch every second of the videos, and then they're not forced to watch, but they will watch voluntarily watch every second of your videos. They'll watch every second of your videos, and then we'll go back and replay and rewind certain parts. I know that they do that because, like, you complain that my videos are too long, but then you got your live streams full of lies about me. Y'all make it like as if my life is that important that y'all gotta huddle together and be gossiping and discussing about my mental health. Excuse me, or y'all fake perception about my mental health. You know, so excuse me. So I mean, so the freezing weather, like it looks like as if it rained last night or this morning, and then so they have that Arctic weather um that's supposed to be the Arctic weather is supposed to start tonight, and it looks like it's supposed to last for over a week. You know, and for me to get that phone call for the job, it could be Monday or it could be Friday of next week or it could be the week after, but I try to get all my documentation and as an onboarding and everything as instantly and as quick as possible, you know. But at least I'm trying. At least I'm trying, and I know what the games that the gang stalkers have to play. The games that they have to play. You know. So, excuse me. I felt discouraged about yesterday that that person that was supposed to be a Christian TI, I don't know if she betrayed and turned against me, but that fake Darnell Williams perp, he scared her off, and um and he came to harass me again today. If you a man or a guy, why would you pose, harass a woman and pose as a woman? Why are you posing as me and trying to, make a fake? And people say that that's something that narcissists do. But he's worse than a narcissistic abuser. He's a straight up psychopath. Straight up psychopath. And my twin sister is friends or friendly with somebody that's gonna call themselves, make a fake name saying Satanic Darnell Williams. And that's who you would rather be friends with. But y'all made up a fake smear campaign and lied on me and falsely accused me of having sexual relations with a 17-year-old girl. When you knew nothing, I didn't even mention anything about the conversation much of what we talked about. But she approached me, and we only had a few conversations. But she approached me, and I'm not even in contact with her anymore. But she approached me, and we only had a few conversations, and I didn't feel comfortable with talking to her because of her age. But she approached me and would talk to me about the targeting and faith in Jesus Christ or whatever, or the Christian living or whatever. So my twin sister and her cult followers, they used that to lie and said I had a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old, and they're the ones who's so nasty and sexually perverted. Somebody who I wouldn't even think twice about being sexually attracted to. And damn well that I'm heterosexual. But that's more of my twin sister projecting her homosexuality onto me. Because she, being the age that we are, would make remarks about 14, 15-year-old girls. As I said, her in that relationship with that foster girl, Calvina. And then she tried to say Wyatt was having sex with Calvina. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry. So, and I can't believe for y'all to be Christian and believe lies from satanic people. Excuse me. So, my teeth hurt. Excuse me. So, there's still certain things that I can't say yet, but there's some other stuff that I need to talk about today. So, I don't know if it's because of the Mardi Gras season or is it because of the weekend. The regular hotel seem like they're gonna be more expensive. They're gonna be more expensive. And I looked on some of the websites, and a lot of the hotels are booked. Like for tomorrow, they're booked already, and some people, they're already here for Mardi Gras. But Mardi Gras Day, I heard, is Tuesday, February 13th of this year. So I'm glad it's come early, and I say in advance that can't wait till Mardi Gras is over, because I hate it. I hate Mardi Gras. I hate everything about it. The only thing I like is king cake, and that's about it. Yeah, I said it. That's the only thing I like about Mardi Gras is the king cake. But I don't like the I mean, what I hate about Mardi Gras. Well, I found out about a decade ago that Mardi Gras is satanic and pagan and for the heathen. And you know, so New Orleans, a lot of New Orleans tradition, come from Catholicism and voodoo. You know, and so what they'll do is, Christmas is not really Christian, and it's actually, the Antichrist or Satan getting glory pretending to be Christian. Excuse me. Satan getting glory pretending to be Christian. And Easter, I heard, is pagan as well. A lot of these holidays are either pagan or satanic, or have its roots in murder or slaughter of a whole race of people, or it's like celebrating some kind of enslavement or torture. Like I heard that Labor Day is a Marxist holiday. So with the what they have Christmas, and then the 12 nights or whatever, or Epiphany or whatever, and then they have Carnival or Mardi Gras season. Excuse me. And everybody sin for however long they want. And then between Mardi Gras and Easter, they put on a fake holy mask for the Lent season. The fake holy, Lent season or whatever. And I heard that the Catholic Church has the Antichrist spirit, and excuse me, that some people say Catholicism is the biggest cult of them all. And they said that some people say that the Catholicism and everything going on in the Vatican, that that all that is how they ended up with the false churches and the Freemasons and all that, everything in the Vatican. And so excuse me. So I heard that the horror of Babylon, a lot of people say that the Catholic Church is the horror of Babylon. The great horror. That's what that's what a lot of the Christians say, that the Bible mentions about that. I mean, not word for word saying the Catholic Church, but if you draw context clues, yes, pointing to the Catholic Church. And And the Pope, we all know that the Pope have blasphemed God. And Pope Francis, I've seen pictures of him touching little babies, you know, excuse me, terrified little babies. And I hear about how they use Catholicism, the Jesuits, the Masonic Jesuits in the MK Ultra programming of sexual slaves from babies, like a lot of these, you hear about Jesuit trained celebrities, so the Illuminati and the Jesuits and Freemasonry and all that. I don't have expert knowledge, but I remember certain things from what I read up on, I don't have any expert knowledge or inside knowledge about anything. I don't even have expert knowledge or inside knowledge about myself, because everybody else seems to know me more than I know me. They act like they do. Trying to rewrite history about my personal life. So with Mardi Gras, I don't like crowds. I don't like all that traffic. And I don't like noise. And I don't like not being able to use the bathroom. And if you do, the bathrooms be filthy. Like, I remember the torture of walking through Mardi Gras parades even before Hurricane Katrina, where a lot of places wouldn't let you use the bathroom. And if they did, they would charge you so much money to use the bathroom. And they have long lines to use the bathroom. And then the bathrooms be so dirty. I love New Orleans in my hometown and miss it. But I absolutely hate Mardi Gras and some of these other festivities that they have, like being like the Bayou Classics and stuff like that they recently had. Bayou Classics and Battle of the Bands and some other festivities that they had, or downtown, and they have whatever fake concerts or all those sports games and everything, But I do love my city. I mean, there was a point in time I used to hate New Orleans and everything about it. But then after Hurricane Katrina happened, it took for me to learn to love and appreciate and never forget where I came from. But dealing with the Bible saying to be not conformed to this world, it's a lot of things that as a New Orleanian that I can't participate in, or that I would have to stay away from. And certain jobs I would have to be conscientious of as well. But it seems like that was the only jobs I could take. I mean, the only job that they had available. And with my disability, it was hard to, difficult for somebody to have hypersensitive ears and can't stand for very long periods of time. Somebody like that to be working longer than 10 hours or 12 hours, working temp service with the football and basketball games, and then be workplace mobbed, and me being a cashier with some of these like selling concessions, they would hide the money from me and then make it like as if I miscounted the money and gaslight me and then make it like there's a stash of part of the money. If they say, oh, well, you were $12 short in your $12.75 short in your drawer, and then they would play psycho. And it was before I found out about workplace mobbing. And then next thing you know, when I had the exact cash and everything, and then next thing you know, they separated $12.75 from the other, say, $959, that we may have made for the night. And then they'd be like, oh, you were $12 short, $12.75 short. And then next thing you know, they would hide that $12.75 under the drawer and put it in a separate bag where the rest of it was. And then they'll lie and say that and try to make me feel like as if I'm dumb and cannot count when I have a whole bachelor's degree. So then I would get scared that I'm going to get fired. And then next thing you know, it's what a relief that, oh, they found my they found the rest of the money. So they would play those kinds of games towards me, But I can no longer work sports games, or I cannot work anything Mardi Gras related if I'm trying to would like to try to obey Jesus Christ. So and so, like, when I was in Cincinnati, they had an airport job that I didn't know until it was time for the interview. And I had to decline the job because I'm like, that sounds too much like it's conditioning for the mark of the beast. And the online perps harassed me for declining that job opportunity. Well, I may not have gotten hired anyway. I didn't even get the interview. But I've been throughout the past few years, moments where I would get an interview and get told that I got hired. And then next thing you know, the manager or recruiter or whatever will go AWOL on me. I've had like, and with my disability, I can't even work fast food. But this job opportunity at Wendy's, and this lady pretended to be fake enthusiastic, and then lied to me and told me that I had all the qualities that she was looking for. And she told me that I was hired, like, right during the interview. Next thing you know, she went AWOL on me, and I never saw or heard anything from her again. This was, like, back in 2018, I think. I don't think it was 2017. Excuse me. So, and I'm sitting here wondering how and why family members can get jobs like that. With some of them, if they didn't even graduate high school. But me having a bachelor's degree, and it's a struggle. I can't even get a job at McDonald's, Walmart, Target, or any of those places. Burger King wouldn't even hire me. But I couldn't work at Burger King anyway because of my disability. The main thing is the noise. Excuse me. But if I can detox my body and be able to eat more nutritious, then my body can have more physical energy, and it will be less pain for me to be on my feet all day. I can have better physical ability to be on my feet all day if I had the proper nutrition, and sleep better. Excuse me. So, yeah, I hate everything about crowds and stuff like that anyway. So, I mean, I don't know where to go tomorrow. And as I said, I don't, I mean, I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. Excuse me. And as I said, like the online perps, they are hoping they want to force me to be out there and freeze in the cold weather, hoping that I will die in the cold weather. And they try very hard to act like they want to try to manipulate for me to want to give up on life. But I'm scared to die. I'm scared to die. You know, I know a lot of professed Christians say you shouldn't be afraid you know, to die. Not, I mean, like if be afraid of somebody, that you shouldn't be afraid of somebody trying to kill you. But I mean, I'm afraid of the trauma and torture that will come with dying. And, afraid of burning in hell. Like, if I die right now, I don't deserve heaven. And that's what a lot of um, humble Christians somebody that will be humble and real with themselves. But they got so many, the narcissistic, arrogant, fake Christians are the ones who, they go around using the Bible to manipulate and abuse people, but at the same time, they feel like they're sure that they're going to heaven when they die. Not after you just block me on social media for no reason at all. And I never contacted you or did anything to you. But speaking of that, they had this person on TikTok that's supposed to be in the TI community. And I think today was one of the first. I mean, me and him have been following each other for a long time. But I don't recall him. Maybe he did like press the like button on some of my posts or whatever. But his post never showed up on my feed or whatever until today. And then I pressed the like and favorite or whatever. And I looked at the comments, and he did a video talking about, a perp with one headlight or whatever. Excuse me. And then next thing you know, people were discussing in the comments, and some people were trying to discredit him, call him crazy or whatever. So what he did was, how the perps would try to discredit us and call us paranoid schizophrenic and all that. And so he had a discussion, like a debate with a perp, and then he was discussing with other so-called targets. And I chimed in and mentioned about my twin sister. I said, yeah, as of a couple of days ago, she called me schizophrenic. And then I showed him the post. I tried to show him the post of where she called me schizophrenic. And what he did was he ignored my post, deleted my comment, and turned around and looked at my profile. But he didn't unfollow or block me. But the fact that he ignored me and then deleted my comment, I went and blocked him. And I said, well, your fake ass ain't got to worry about me no more. It's really crazy with fake TI perps because they get discredited and called crazy too, just like us. And then at the same time, they turn around and perp another TI and then try to discredit another TI or ignore you or call you crazy or something like that. And so, the way he treated me really bothered me. But I don't know what his beliefs are. If he professed to be a Christian, or if he's a New Ager, or if he's an atheist, or what his beliefs are, But they had this other person that's supposed to be a targeted individual. He did a video today, and in the video he mentioned about other people that were supposed to be TIs that he entered into their live stream, and that they singled him out and treated him a certain way and started ignoring him or changing the subject or over talking him or trying to perp him, and it's like, how could you show footage of one headlight and say you're going through this persecution and targeting and get sensitive when somebody call you paranoid schizophrenic, but then you turn around and dismiss and ignore another TI telling you that they're experiencing the same thing, and then you falsely say that they are a perp when you try to when that person try to show you, that, hey, I'm going through the same thing. And they'll cut off all contact with you and falsely accuse you of perping them. And so they had, this black guy that tried to discredit me about the drones. And he claimed he was going through the same thing. And then he tried to say, what I'm going through is not that those are not drones following me. Other professed targeted individuals say, yes, those are drones and following me. So how are they drones? If they're not drones following me, but the same objects are following you, well, what is it called? So then he got an attitude and say, well, that he got an attitude and try to discredit me. And then sometime later on, he got hateful and blocked me on every platform or whatever, on every account. And then next thing you know, he appeared again. Maybe he must have found some way to put me on mute or something. And then later on, he unfollowed me. Excuse me. So then, yesterday, I had to block a fake TI perp by trying to tell me about mental illness. And then in another post, she tried to tell me to ignore the perps and don't give them your energy. I'm like, okay, I got my final confirmation that you are a fake TI perp. Because TIs shouldn't even call each other or themselves mentally ill. Especially when it comes to, like, if somebody try to falsely, like, with the mind control, they'll call you paranoid schizophrenic or conspiracy theorist as a way to try to discredit you speaking the truth with this MK Ultra gang stalking mind control program, this torture program. Now, with the MK Ultra, I don't have expert knowledge, but I've read up on and watched some videos, about the MK Ultra and the mind control and celebrities, and I heard about it being like trauma based, and then and like the trauma based with the sex slaves, a lot of them end up being Hollywood celebrities, but that type of slave can be your next door neighbor under that heavy mind control, and you don't even know it. It can be your own family member, and you don't even know it. It can be your teacher at school. It can be your employer. It can be it could be your church usher. So, excuse me, it can be your police officer. A police officer. And so it's like, I heard that there's a trauma based and electronic based. So I heard that with the electronic based toward MK Ultra, they could turn you into like a Myron May or Aaron Alexis or any one of those, or James Holmes or the Batman shooter that shot up, or a mass shooter, But they try to provoke innocent good people. That's like when I told y'all about the perp tapping. You're just minding your business trying to sleep, and they want to try to force you to stay awake by hitting you with directed energy weapons, force jerking you out of your sleep, or they just make it like as if you just naturally can't fall asleep. Or they'll be like with him whoever doing that tapping, or they'll blast loud music or loud TV, or have some other noise or whatever, or have a car pass by very, very loud and startle you out of your sleep at like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. They'll even send animals by your door. If they send dogs near your house to bark all freaking night. Or cats meowing at your door. Meow, meow, meow. Meow at your door. Or the perp neighbors can, manipulate for their baby to cry on purpose to keep you awake. Excuse me. And they would do stuff like antagonize and provoke the baby to cry. And, like you're antagonizing and provoking and perping your own baby. And then, that affects the targeted neighbor, where the targeted neighbor is being vexed and annoyed too. So, and somebody, I think it was yesterday, I don't think it was today. I hate when people try to tell me you can't control what other people do, but you can only control how you react. But they've been having thousands of people trying to control me every day. Control. If nobody can control me, I wouldn't be homeless right now. I would be living my dream. Or I would be accomplishing goals. I would be unstoppable if nobody can control me. And they have so many people who will say, and my twin sister herself said it, that me and her could band together. You know, how powerful we would be if we would band together. But if she feels like she can reconcile with other family members or turn over a new leaf, but she is not willing to put differences aside and decide to get along with me, because she has her and other family members, they have a certain control and abuse type of agenda with me, and they don't play those games with other family members. You know. So I didn't realize Mark was a gang stalker back then. That Mark used to install, I guess, stalkerware or spyware or whatever on my laptop and come to my house just to do that, and then leave, and then order me around and tell me what to do in my own apartment and make rules for me. And yet you hate me and don't even care about me. I mean, my entire family, if they bossed and controlled and abused me all these years, but won't do shit for me. But they took advantage of me to the point where, for me to end up being in high financial debt. But I didn't even realize, I've been hearing for many years about myself being like the scapegoat or black sheep of the family, even when I was in foster care. And I didn't know about narcissistic abuse and family dynamics until some years later. And I didn't realize it was all spiritual. So, like, some people with the fake deliverance ministry thing, they say that the online stalkers are considered monitoring spirits that are demonic or whatever. And then they have the fake deliverance ministry solution. So I don't even, I try to stay away from anything Pentecostal, because they're demonic, just like the Catholic Church, demonic but masquerading as Christian and holy. Ooh, they hit me in my heart with the weapons, because I'm getting pain in my heart right now. So, yeah. As I say, I'm going to be needing help. I don't even know if next week or the week after, if I would get a call back and be told, to be sent over to wherever. But throughout the years, I felt discouraged about all these doors being closed in my face. And I'm a lot of times with people, so many mass amount of people hating me and being rude to me for no reason. I be questioning whether or not God hates me too, or Jesus Christ is done with me. But people say don't believe that lie from the devil, because they say that if God was done with you, you would be dead. If God was done with you, you would be dead, which is judgment, to be judged of whether or not you're going to heaven or hell. But some people say each day that we live is another day of grace and mercy and another chance at repenting and getting right with God. Even earlier today, for the past few days, the fake Darnell Williams perp The tactics have not been working because I know what I believe in. But he acted like he wanted to try to make attempts at trying to sow seeds of doubt or you know, excuse me. You know how unbelievers will say, well, if your God is so great, then why doesn't he get you out of your homeless situation? Well, if your God is so great, why doesn't he, why do you have to beg people for money? Or if your God is so great, why didn't you get that job, or whatever? Or if your God is so great, then why are you struggling or suffering in this and that area? That's how they think. You know, excuse me. So, yeah, he came earlier to harass me. Let me see something. Okay. Excuse me. He came earlier to harass me on another fake new account. Um, I mean, for somebody to think that they have authority and control over you, why are you so childish? You're sexually perverted and childish. And then a few days ago, the fake Darnell Williams excuse me, went on my one of my other channels and altered my pictures to look satanic or goofy, and then made a threat to come and see me in person. And it's like, well, if you sold your soul to the devil and you're so rich, why do you have to wait until you get your income tax to talk about, oh, wait till, oh, so, oh, he's like, oh, wait till I get my income tax to wait till I get my income tax and I'll come down there and see you in person. And excuse me, so since you're so anxious to what us online trolls look like. So the fake Darnell Williams the way he's been threatening me or been harassing me about death, I'm warning y'all in advance that if he ever would have come near me, you know, situations like this is how true crime, people end up on true crime YouTube and TikTok channels or even on TV. This is how they might have true crime or unresolved crimes. And people are not even taking this seriously. And dealing with being targeted, I can't even go to the police. Because the Masonic Fraternal Order of Police, they're all the devil's servants. Most police officers do not have a foundational belief in Jesus Christ. And pray every day and read the Bible. And if they do, they will lose their job so fast. And probably become a targeted individual. Like, I don't think he was a Christian, but I think his name was a police officer named Chris Dorner. People were saying that he was targeted. I think that was what his name was. And some people say he was targeted and under MK Ultra. So yeah. So I mean, I'm really scared, but about running out of funds and not having help. Over the next few days or the next week or so. And as I said, I've been skipping certain meals because the food here is so expensive. You know. So, you know, but yeah, I mean, some people say if a TI doesn't like you for no reason, a lot of the time they be a perp. Like, if they talk to everybody else but single you out and ignore you. You know, like on YouTube, Real Zona, she professed to be Christian and heavily targeted. But I try to reach out to her, for support. It was a long time. It's been over a year, a long time ago. And she would talk to everybody else but single me out and ignore me. And quite a few others on YouTube, TikTok, or wherever else, you know. But the way people, for me to be traumatized about so-called targeted individual friendships, you know, and the first thing almost everybody want to say is ignore. And that's why I feel hesitant to give out my phone number. And the fake TI perps, out of revenge, they will go and give the regular perps my phone number. If me and them get into an argument, or if they get mad at me, they will go and give the regular perps my phone number. So, the fake TI perps playing both sides. So, I say all the time that if you try to be like, well, I'm here to support you, I'm here to be a listening ear, I'm here to you know, I'm here to help you, you know, and then the moment you take my phone number, and then the first thing you say is ignore your stalkers, or ignore them, or act like you're frustrated and don't want me to mention shit about the targeting. And for you want me to just ignore everything, then I feel like, well, what's the point of you having my phone number? And then, they will hear me say that I don't like for somebody to tell me ignore the perps. So if I tell you I don't like for you to tell me that, and then you take my phone number, donate me money, and then take my phone number, develop a fake friendship, and then say ignore the perps, then it makes me realize, okay, you did that on purpose. You're a fake TI perp. I feel like it's pointless for you to take my number and you feel like, well, I'm going to try to control you and make you shut up about the perps. Anyway, after I said, don't be trying to tell me to ignore the perps. Because if somebody sabotaged you in some kind of way, you would whine about it or bitch about it or get mad and huff and puff about it too. That's what I'm saying. I think the fake sellout TI perps, they want you silenced just like the regular perps. And so they pretend that they're on your side, and that spew out new age talk by saying ignore them and don't give them any of your energy. While these fuckers are sitting there trying to murder me. Excuse me. Excuse me. So, and then the main ones who think bad about you, who have a bad opinion about you, they're the ones who try to tell you how you should think positive. But no matter what you do or say, they're going to always think you're a bad person, or always hate you, or don't like you, or think that jealous but think they're better. And when you try to speak the truth, they'll say you're being negative, or that you're full of negativity, or you're focusing on the negative. You know, but nobody's saying the perps that complain and gossip about me, about what's not their business. Nobody tells them to ignore and stay away from me. You know, so, you know, my twin sister and her cult followers, and David Jane, who I went to the fake Hell's Way church with in Los Angeles. David he's special needs, and you know, he's participating in the perping and slander, and you know, he's participating, and for them to gossip and laugh and lie and falsely accuse me of having sexual relationship with a 17-year-old, you know, talking about targeting and what we're going through, that's not a sexual relationship. But they're pushing this lie so hard, and then mock, laugh, and think it's funny. Well, if my twin sister lied and said that I looked over Blake's casket and said, "Good, I'm glad he's dead." First, she lied and said I looked over his casket. Then she said that she had a phone conversation with Wyatt and that I said it over the phone. And me, Brandy, and Wyatt, like anytime after 2014, 15, 16, 17, all those years, we never had a three-way conversation. Ever. So she's lying about that. They're lying about that. So for them to lie about that, and drunk lady Yvonne already hated my guts. Well, if any of them, I don't know if Wyatt actually lied about it, but Brandy was saying that Wyatt got on the phone with us on three-way or whatever, and that never happened either. No times since even before Blake died have me, Brandy, and Wyatt ever did three-way on the phone. Ever. Me and Brandy weren't even close like that. So, and me and Wyatt weren't even really close like that. So, Wyatt is another one that would make sick jokes and false rumors and laugh. But almost 2 years ago, I realized Wyatt seems like as if he's a devil worshiper or dabbling into the occult, and a damn perp. Excuse me. As I said, Wyatt will forever be him and Ramona and all them. They freaking two-faced. But my twin sister sat there and you know, falsely accused me of being a narcissist in 2015. And we got into numerous arguments. But she needed my help in 2017 and begged for me to come over by her. And then later on acting like she didn't want me there. and then played all kinds of games and manipulated. And she publicized, us arguing in 2017 and lied on me and bullied, harassed, and threatened me and tried to put me out there and embarrass me. She put me out on social media and live streamed it in 2017. But now she got mad at me for speaking the truth on YouTube for the past several years. But she's been lying to me on Facebook. Lying on me on Facebook back in 2009, 10, 11. And having people that we went to school with to block and unfollow me for nothing. Even during the MySpace days, far back as 2007. Or my twin sister would flat out just ignore my calls or ignore me. We're living out of state and she would just ignore me out of nowhere for no reason. Or wait till around our birthday to ignore me for no reason. And I'm sitting here having panic attacks. Major panic attacks. And I didn't realize they were just playing all kinds of games. And she would make up a lie for an excuse to justify being mad at me for our birthday. And just acting all kinds of bizarre. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. Now, for my twin sister to be saying that I'm asking to be murdered for exposing gang stalking, or that I'm the crazy one running up on people, innocent people, in which those gang stalkers are not innocent people, and I'll be freaking fed up and freaking tired. But you would rather be loyal to a cult and money rather than your own family, your own twin. And earlier today, I saw a YouTube video. It popped up on my feed. I wasn't even looking for it. But it popped up on my feed about how this guy who was a twin was in a courtroom, and him and his entire family jumped and beat up the guy that murdered his twin brother. And so many sets of twins in the comments, or people in the comments, were saying how they felt, how they felt for the for the twin whose brother was murdered. His twin brother was murdered. And then up in that courtroom, the entire family, not just the twin brother, but the entire family jumped the guy who murdered the twin brother. So and I've seen certain situations where, where they would have like somebody who murdered somebody, and then they would get jumped in the courtroom, or there would be like a brawl in the courtroom. But I did tell Brandy over the phone, and like the day after it was that Saturday. I think I came back from Greenville, South Carolina. Came back to Greenville, South Carolina from New Orleans. And she acted like she agreed with me when I said, how the family stayed mad at me for a long time and mad at me forever. But the person who murdered Blake, the person who killed Blake, would be the, that they will love him and forgive him instantly and not feel bitter towards him. And they'll sit down and have a nice dinner with him. And that's what the outsiders have done to my family members, way dirtier things than the stuff that my family has falsely accused me of. And then they could be back loving and forgiving that person and being non-relatives and be friends for a long time. But, even in 2015, Blake was still alive and Yvonne acted like she hated me and didn't want me around. So, and Ramona tried to act like it was none of my business. In 2017, she tried to say that, I think she said something about that Yvonne said that they found Blake's killer, or I don't know. But, the family wasn't mad at Ramona for, one of the first things she did was, well, she was bragging about that the person tried to rob Blake and that he shot and killed Blake but didn't take any money. And Ramona bragged about how much money Blake had in his pocket. Well, she was bragging about Blake having a lot of money in his pocket when he got shot and killed and they found him. That's one of the first things you do to your own cousin, is to feel for how much money he got in his pockets and then take it. I know you took it. But the family ain't hating Ramona, or the family don't want to jump. They didn't want to jump Ramona behind something like that. Or the family didn't get mad at her or ostracize her or call her foul. Excuse me. But when Blake was alive, Ramona used to talk a bunch of shit about him. But once he died, she tried to pretend like she wanted to have the fake biggest mouth to be all over the damn news, talking about how much of a wonderful person he was and everything. When Blake was alive, Ramona tried to manipulate me to believe that Blake was a bad person and such a thief and everything. But Ramona's a fucking thief, stealing from me. She was stealing from me, stealing from Sean. Using and taking advantage. Exploiting. And it's like my entire family have an unconditional, unchanging hatred towards me. So I don't even know if the government lied to my family, or was it just my twin sister lying to my family and turned them all against me before I can even get to know them. But for me to not be on the same level as them, for me to not have the same common interests as people like, any of my family, they will figure that since we don't have anything in common, that, she's bizarre and crazy. Or people don't have time for that. Excuse me. But you get extra ostracized. And if you change your ways and try to better yourself as a Christian, they try to perp you and try to manipulate you into being dragged back into your old ways or certain sins that you try to repent from. And they try to drag and manipulate you so that they could set you up and be like, see, you a fake Christian, you haven't changed, or something like that. But we're human and not perfect. Excuse me. And they have some Christians who admit that they might, that they backslide. But God is gracious and merciful enough to forgive us and let us come back to Him and give us another chance to try again. you know, and you're not going to get it perfect the first time as a new Christian. You're not going to get everything perfect. So if you turn your life over to Jesus Christ, you're not going to just switch like that and be totally without sin. It takes some time for you to be able to change, But the devil and his servants will come at you and make up false rumors, lies, and smear campaigns on purpose and attack you real hard and to try to use your old sins of your past. While they're telling you let go of the past. But they're still mad at you for lies that they've heard about you in the past. 20 years ago you heard this lie about me, but now you still hate me and don't want me around. You were too lazy. You didn't even try to verify if this lie was true. So the biological niece Monica, when she first came out of the military in 2005 before Hurricane Katrina, she was nice and respectful. But then it didn't take very long that she started to act like a narcissistic control freak fake friend would act. And then after that, she started to be more abusive, sadistic, and hateful, and just downright nasty and totally disrespectful. And I started to question. I heard that just like my twin sister lied to get out of the military, but she was already a damn perp. But then Monica got out of the military in 2005 before Hurricane Katrina. The farthest Monica got was in boot camp. And she didn't get to finish because she found out she was pregnant with little Randy. And then they said she couldn't go back into the military because of having scoliosis. But I'm wondering if that was a cover-up or a lie for her taking the perp deal. And, to start the perp and abuse and bully. Excuse me. And even, for so many years, I was wondering, why did family hate me? What did I do? But my twin sister Brandy admitted to me years later that she told the family lies about me. Or she would tell them how to push my buttons and how to trigger and provoke me. And she didn't even sound regretful or remorseful. She tried to make it as if it was just natural daily life. And Ramona even told me some years later that before I came back around the family after we turned 18, that she said, well, Brandy threw you under the bus practically. So the family is not willing to come together and start over a whole new clean slate and have a family meeting and try to, in a mature way, talk things out. And because they feel like they ain't got time for that bullshit. And they still lie, manipulate, and deceive and play all kinds of games, try to set you up, destroy your life, think it's funny, jealous, think they're better. But, there's so much wickedness in this family. And I know I'm not perfect because I'll say after turning 18, I really didn't do my twin sister much or nothing. But all this abuse I had to take from her. And then my reactive abuse, with her initial narcissistic abuse and my reactive abuse. It's trying to stand up for myself. But I've done my twin sister some dirty things, and she did me some dirty things while we were in foster care because the foster mom had us brainwashed. She manipulated, the foster mom ran her household like a cult and had us with this, the spy and snitch program. And for us to, like, be against each other. Because we were so afraid of looking out for our own asses and afraid of getting in trouble. And, as I said, like, I was brainwashed to think a certain way about the biological mom, Frances. And, for me to be mean to the biological mom, Frances, because of what the foster mom said, what she put in our head. And then we got a certain age, or I woke up in 2010, 2011 to find out the truth. And biological family members were keeping me from talking to the biological mom, Frances, up until she passed away. And even after she passed away, my twin sister still would not give me the phone number to the nursing home that the biological mom, Frances, was in. And my twin sister used to go visit there all the time. I have to use the bathroom. Hold up. Okay. So usually after coming from the bathroom or taking a certain break, sometimes I be forgetting where I last left off at. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. So, yeah, I mean, I feel very terrible. I mean, it did go both ways, though, because, like, the biological mom, Frances, well, Arthur was just mean, But the Bible mentions about, and the fake IDMR cult, they mention honor thy mother and thy father, but I did not know until, because a lot of scriptures I did not know until after starting to believe in Jesus Christ. I did not know about the scripture, provoke not your children to wrath. So, but my twin sister, she lied on me and said that I badmouthed deceased family members. She lied on me the other day and said that I badmouthed deceased family members. So, and she lied on me and said that I made fun of how Blake looked in the casket, and I never did. How is saying that, that they closed Blake's casket pretty soon, and I said that they had him dressed. I was trying to say that they had him dressed up in a like a saints of red. I'm sorry. It was black, white, and gold saints. They had him dressed up in a black, white, and gold saints, like sweatsuit outfit, And I was wondering, like, well, this is the first time I saw somebody like a funeral and they weren't in dress clothes. That's what I was trying to say. But, she lied on me and said that I was making fun of. I don't even make fun of people. So, but I said that in 2015, Raymond got into an argument with Ramona and threw in her face about how Ramona would go to strangers' funerals. And then laugh and talk bad about how they looked in the casket. You know. So it's like y'all can see my videos for yourselves about what I say or what she's freaking falsely accusing, and her cult, what they're falsely accusing me of doing and saying. You know. But I really regret, you know, disrespecting and not having that much love for the biological mom, Frances, based on being brainwashed by the foster mom, Adrian Felder, who demanded more credit. You know, I didn't know about narcissistic abuse because both of them were rumored to be narcissistic and controlling and practice voodoo witchcraft. Like, they even said that the foster mom, Adrian Felder, the biological mom, Frances Grand Prix, and the biological sister, Ramona, that they all practice, you know, voodoo. You know, but the foster mom definitely was into the occult and had a dark side, you know, worshiped the dark side. And Wyatt seems like as if he worshiped the dark side, you know. Now, the singer Aaliyah would glorify the dark side. And I didn't realize that Aaliyah was, and a lot of these celebrities try to manipulate us towards devil worship and sending us on a path to hell. But Aaliyah was brainwashed in order to brainwash us. You know, Hollywood industry is one big fat cult. You know, so I didn't realize the dark side is evil, it's wrong, and against God. And I hear about how the Hollywood celebrities mock God, you know, because they worship Satan, and people who worship Satan, they like to intentionally mock God on purpose, willfully. And that's different from a Christian that kind of get upset and kind of, you know, slip up and cuss because they're mad or angry or frustrated, you know, because we're human. But, you know, we can try to confess our sins and, you know, be cleansed, you know. That's different, you know. But they got some people who really walking around here just fake hypocrites and playing both sides. You know, worshiping the devil behind closed doors but pretending to be a Christian. Like, they got people who claim to be Christian and targeted and say you're saved by the blood of Jesus Christ, but you throw up the devil horns and 666, or you throw up satanic and Masonic hand signs. Or you hate another TI, or you perp another TI. So, you know, in this video, I mean, I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. As I said, I need as much financial help as possible. And I don't know if it'll be a good decision for me to just get a weekly motel. I mean, I have to take everything one day at a time. To get help with funds for a weekly motel plus food. Excuse me. And then, like, I'm afraid that, you know, if I were to get like a way to get a weekly motel and pay for the whole week, and then next thing you know, oh, they called me up Monday for the job, for example, or even Tuesday, and then I have to forfeit the rest of the days because I don't think that they will prorate or refund me the money back. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of motels be like no refunds, or if I have to go day by day in a hotel and may have to pay incidentals, yeah, I don't know. But as I said, I need any and all the help that I could get. So my twin sister lied on me and said that, well, every time Candy lies on me, she get help with a hotel room. That's not true. But she gets paid by the gang stalkers to slander and just try to discredit my targeting. That's the one that's money hungry. Like somebody who really has no roof over their head. You know, no place that can call home. And but be at my last 94 cents, for example. But you have a house, car, stock, food pantry, ain't got to worry about nothing. And I'm on the streets with no place sometimes no place where I can use the bathroom. And only 94 cents. And then you talk about me being materialistic and money hungry or wanting to live a lavish. No. The hotels that I've been staying in, a lot of the times, it looks like people say that there'd be 2-star hotels on average. I don't know, maybe 1-star or 2-star. And only on rare occasions, when I had a job in 2021, when all the lower class, cheaper hotels and motels were booked for the summer, but thankfully I had the job, or when that stimulus thing happened, I had no choice but to book a more expensive price. The hotel that they raised the prices or whatever. You know, like with the stimulus or whatever, hotels that would have been normally $85 or $82 for the hotel, because of the stimulus thing a couple of years ago, I ended up having to pay like $173 for that same room. And it's like, well, what's the point of giving us a stimulus check and y'all temporarily raise the prices like 2 or 3 times more? You know, and then they raised the prices on Uber and everything also during that time. Or they would run out of hotel rooms. You know, but like in 2021, if they had a hurricane threat and I was working at Seville Quarter, all the rooms will be booked. And then I would have no choice but to get like a $165 or $200 room. You know, but a lot of times, as I said, with the hotel room and food, what I would try to do is try to do my best to get the cheapest hotel or motel that I can find that's available where I'm not banned from. And the same thing with restaurants. And wherever I'm at or wherever is convenient. So I try to have no choice but to get the cheapest available. But my twin sister in that cult, they will lie and say that Candy wants a lavish lifestyle. or Candy is jealous of us because this and that or whatever. And like, if you sold your soul to the devil, how can you call me materialistic? But you flaunting off earthly things, flaunting off fake relationships and fake friendships and try to rub it in my face, hoping that the tactic will work, that you would do stuff on purpose, hoping that you can try to antagonize and think that you can try to provoke me to be jealous, and then lie and say, oh, Candy's jealous. And that's not the case. Excuse me. As I said, I don't need to be envious of someone who sold their soul to the devil in order to get nice things, and but it is so frustrating to see, well, how can wicked people have all these nice things, and then I'm wondering, what did I do to deserve to be punished and have not even a meal to eat or a night of a place to sleep? No matter how cheap it is. Your gang stalk, y'all, the gang stalking network, online and in person gang stalkers, neighbors. The gang stalked me out of my apartment in the projects with a whole bunch of roaches because y'all felt like I wasn't good enough to deserve to live there. Neighbors hitting you with weapons. And I can't even last long anywhere I go because, like, it's like I can't have anything. The only thing permanent is this damn torture and abuse. But anything normal and good, they make sure it won't last a long time. That I don't get to last long. So while I'm here today, as I said, a lot of the times ever since being back homeless again, me suffering so many days on the streets homeless, by the time I get in the hotel room, I'd be so physically exhausted and tired. And it took me at least a week for me to recuperate from being so tired from being on the streets, for me to finally kind of feel back normal again, and to have like some peace and quiet, and could finally do longer videos and expose, wickedness. So, that's one of the reasons why I haven't been able to do longer videos lately. And also I wanted to practice to try to go to bed earlier, like between 9 o'clock at night and more like 10. Rather, because it didn't make me feel comfortable going to bed past midnight. But for the past few days, they've been sleep depriving me and vibrating me and hitting me with weapons and keeping me awake. But I got a little bit of sleep last night, But I was supposed to have done this long time ago. But I wanted to talk about the so-called friendship with Tea Talks with Teresa, and that SE person, and that fake TI perp Talent Savalas. I wanted to talk about all that before this video is over, and to help put my mind at ease. So, with Tea Talks with Teresa, I don't remember if it was TikTok or YouTube. And I stumbled upon her by because of Jemiah and Jaden Bratcher, those fraternal twins becoming missing. And I think that's how I found out about her. Excuse me. And also how I found out about that LaShawn Monique person through that same Atlanta Street interviews. That's how I found out about her, you know. And I thought she was supposed to be a Christian, and I tried to support her, you know. And if there was I apologize. If there was a misunderstanding, I'm sorry, you know. I thought she was supposed to be Christian and targeted, and I already did videos, you know, about LaShawn Monique. But the online perps, they would throw LaShawn Monique, they would throw that in my face, you know, and won't let me forget. Just like the situation with the Whitney perp next door, the next door neighbor, and certain other things the perps would keep on throwing in my face, you know. So, but the online fake TI perps and regular perps, they spent a false narrative. I meant to say they spun a false narrative to lie on me and say that I was jealous of LaShawn Monique. And they brainwashed her to believe that I was hating on her or jealous of her or wanted to hijack her life, in which I had been homeless and targeted long before I stumbled upon or found out who she was. You know, and I haven't even gone to look at her channel or watch her videos or nothing. You know, but I try to be there for LaShawn Monique and try to be supportive of her. Because it seemed like we had so much in common, but I had zero reason to really be jealous of her if we were in the same predicament. And I thought that when I was in Bloomington, Texas, I thought that my homeless situation would have been over forever. And that I would have been housed forever. But they gang stalked me out of Bloomington. You know, they gang stalked me out of Pensacola and they ran me out of here, but I came back. This is my home. So I made a conscious decision to try to be careful, to be respectful, and to not throw LaShawn Monique under the bus, or like y'all would say, or, I tried to not even badmouth her or be judgmental or anything like that. How can I if I'm in the same predicament? I was already targeted and doing YouTube videos before I even stumbled, and already homeless. And so the online perp spun a false narrative that I'm jealous of LaShawn Monique and trying to live vicariously through her, and that I'm obsessed with her, and all these other kind of things, or that I want to be like her. And then she came in through, I'm like, the stuff she threw on my face and the comments on my videos, it sounded like as if the perps got in her head. And so, but I'm going to say it again. Yeah, she blocked me for no reason at all, really, when I never said a hate comment to her. And then, but the people were attacking and judging and condemning her, and she was still heart and like their comments. And so she tried to gaslight and lie and say that she didn't block me, but she did. So that's that. So, I mean, the online stalkers, as I said, I don't even mention her really anymore. And the online stalkers will come and harass. And I will make fake new accounts to come and harass. And I will try to block them. They come with more fake new accounts. I try to block them. So then, so I don't remember if it was before or after I left Cincinnati to go to Bloomington, Texas, after, I don't know if it was the end of me being in Cincinnati or I was already in Bloomington when I stumbled upon Jemiah and Jaden going viral. And then I heard about LaShawn Monique went viral, you know. And so I try to be there, as I said, try to be there and be supportive of all of them. And, had compassion and had a heart for them. And so Tea Talks with Teresa was nice and supportive. And I even had my moments where if she didn't comment for a while, I was afraid that she blocked me or turned against me or whatever. And I would know that I would feel bad and make remarks about how people in the TI community that's supposed to be Christian, if over the summer on TikTok especially or on Twitter, if they unfollow or block me for no reason. There's a difference between, for block you for no reason or unfollow you for no reason versus if you unfollowed or blocked that person because you got into an argument with them. But I would be talking about people that's supposed to be targeted individuals or narcissistic abuse victims or so-called Christians that unfollow or block me on social media and I never contacted them, but we were on each other's friends list or followers. That would hurt me. So, excuse me, I never got the impression for a long time. I never got the impression that Tea Talks with Teresa was a perp. She seemed like she was nice and supportive, but I was, now certain things I'm not going to say. But she seemed like she was nice and supportive, and leave supportive comments to let me know that she loved me or that she cared about me or whatever, And so then, a couple of times, if I know she did it out of innocence and didn't mean any harm. But just like with this other person from yesterday, if the online gang stalkers see somebody being supportive of me, they go and attack that person too. Attack and terrorize and harass. So Teresa was, spreading the word to get me help and be supportive, and she was supposed to run a nonprofit organization, and she said something about trying to get 501c3. She said she was working on the paperwork for that or something, or waiting on the approval for that or something. So she wanted to start a nonprofit and wanted to help and support the less fortunate. And I believe that she's been sincere about that, But but it seems like the online perps had terrorized and attacked her for supporting me and spreading the word to get me help. And she's not the only one. Anybody else that had been supportive, as I said in the more previous video, that people, if the perps would try to beat that person to submission, to betray and turn against me, or they threaten that person, or bully, harass, and threaten that person, or probably offer them deals to turn away. And so, Teresa even, if the perps will harass her and say, well, oh yeah, you care about her so much, why don't you donate to her? Or why don't you have her come live with you, But she ended up, donating a couple of times as well, It took a few months, but, if you can't donate if you don't have the funds to do it, I totally understand, you know. So what happened was, um, it's like, I know that she tried to spread the word and get me help on YouTube, and even try to even sacrifice, you know, doing TikTok live streams to try to get me help, but people didn't really want to help or whatever. And then I did not know or realize that the online stalkers, you know, that they went and devoured and attacked and bullied her. But she said it really didn't faze her, you know. And I thought that she was there to support and protect me. And then, after wrongfully losing the TikTok account on over the summer, you know, the online perps, they did that. But then, when I had got another TikTok account, and I notified my TikTok followers about it, and then she said followed, you know, and then next thing you know, I could be wrong, but I was wondering, well, did she give them my TikTok account behind my back? Because that other account called Reprove Gang Stalking, they had the online devil worshiping stalkers falsely reported every single video, and it's like, damn, once she found out, then they found out. And once she found out, then they found out. And then I mistakenly thought that, did she give them my account, my TikTok? And then next thing you know, they falsely reported each and every video before they falsely reported every video. Not random videos, but every single video. And then excuse me, until they succeeded at getting the TikTok account wrongfully taken down. And a lot of the videos weren't even able to, like, I appealed them, and they weren't even resolved. And then I appealed the whole account after they got it wrongfully taken down, and TikTok did not give me that account back. But, you know, they try to kill off the current TikTok, and I was forced to make that private in order to preserve the account, or save, you know, to keep the account, you know. So I mean, and I was wondering, my twin sister trying to falsely talk about being forced to watch this and forced to watch that, when, or talk about me well, how would, if I had her blocked on TikTok, I wondering how was she able to access videos that I set to private, or if not friends only, then totally private. How did her and the other online stalkers know exact videos that I put, you know? So then I noticed that that SE person talked like a supportive Christian targeted individual, and it looks like as if she was supportive ever since either me being in Cincinnati or after I got to Bloomington. And she made occasional supportive comments. And then in September, I was in my apartment, and did a live stream, and my twin sister was bullying and perping the fuck out of me in the live stream. And that SE person went to bat for it and defended me against the Whitney perp that was the neighbor. After I became back homeless again and ended up back in my hometown, New Orleans, I did not know that the SE person secretly betrayed me and started siding with my twin sister and the perps. They must have either offered her a deal or beat her into submission and threatened her too. And then she came to bully, harass, and threaten me. I didn't know until a couple of months later. I was wondering, how come she disappeared, or did she turn against me? Did she betray me? Or did, and I didn't even know that SE she was supportive. And she was even saying that my twin sister was, obsessed or acting bizarre, and she was defending me against that neighbor Whitney, and saying that, oh, she's giving me weird cult vibes. Okay, so if Whitney gave you weird cult vibes, but then here you, right after you turn around and betray me and join the gang stalking cult, and then started to spew out the false narratives, that I'm a scammer and a fake TI and all that, when this SE person has no videos. I got my daily documentation, just about daily documentation of whenever I got to go out in public. So SE, betrayed and turned against me, like, for nothing. I never did her anything. So she yelled at me and cussed me out and threatened me. I don't remember if she threatened me, but she falsely accused me of lying and being a fake TI or making the real TIs look bad or whatever. She made a fake script. So they be having people that support me, and then even that supposed to be other TIs. And then they secretly go behind my back and betray me without me even knowing, and I never did them anything. And so, tell it Savalas. I think I initially crossed paths with her on TikTok, and also on Twitter and YouTube somehow. And she was very, very nice and supportive at first. And, she wanted to brag about how much she donated to me, But there was a point in time she would donate me like $10 or $20 or something, like almost every day for a couple of weeks. And she even helped me with a night or two, or maybe more than 2 nights, in a hotel. And she was nice and supportive. Now, she mentioned something about being in Alabama, and that the Mayor Sandy Stimpson's relative or whatever, was it relative or spouse, that owned property, and that she was being victimized in this housing or whatever, and that she was supposedly trying to file a lawsuit. And then she was showing videos saying that her neighbors were gang stalking her. Now, I figured she would be one of the popular fakes on TikTok, because she's not following that many people, yet has over 20,000 TikTok followers. If you're a real TI, you don't have that many followers like that. But I noticed that Tell It Savannah, she was all nice and supportive, but then she turned out to be cleverly evil and knows how to be very manipulative. And so, cleverly evil and very manipulative. Excuse me. So, At first, as I said, she seemed nice and normal and supportive and going out of her way to help me. And then next thing you know, what Taylor Savalas, what she would do is act like she's supportive of me, and then make like as if she thinks my twin sister is a weirdo. And then I didn't realize she was secretly behind my back watching both of our accounts. Secretly subscribed to my twin sister. And then when I first became homeless again here in New Orleans, I would be like in a hotel or a motel, and she would make comments in my live streams and then delete the comments. She would make comments in the live streams and then delete the comments. And she would act like as if she's gossiping and being messy. She would act like as if she's being messy. You know. Excuse me. And then try to tell me. Like, Natalia Savalas, she was the one who told me about my twin sister's new girlfriend. You know. And then she would be coming to gossip to me and then hurry up and delete her comments. But I was able to screenshot some of them before she hurry up, try to be slick and hurry up and delete them. So then, one time on TikTok, Taylor Savalas sent me like a long narcissistic lecture. You know, and then I responded back, you know, and then she started to get like an aggressive and abusive bully and said some things that offended me. And I really wanted to block her then. And then next thing you know, after that, I didn't mention her name, but I did a couple of a video or two talking about not just her, but other fake TI perps as well. And then she falsely accused me of saying certain things about her that I didn't say, that I was talking about multiple TIs as a whole. You know, multiple fake TI perps as a whole. So then she tried to confront me and try to disrespect me on my channel, so I blocked her, all contact with her on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, everywhere. And then, you know, because I thought that with her videos, I thought she was a real targeted individual. But she's a manipulative, exploitative, fake, playing, narcissistic, controlling, fake, playing both sides. And so, you know, she also ran with that narrative that I'm a scammer, a user, crazy, schizophrenic, and all that. So, my twin sister did a live stream but I did not sit there and listen to the whole, I don't know if it was 2 hours. I didn't watch or listen to it. But then Brandy acted like as if she felt betrayed by the Taylor Savalas person. And then, you know, now, if you're so big and bad to bully somebody, but you do a live stream with my twin sister, I was aware that the video existed, the live stream. And then my twin sister took it down and then I guess put it back up again. And then took it down again. And Taylor Savalas, you know, it looked like as if she had on a mask and eyeglasses. So she didn't even want to show her face. She didn't even want to show her face, but you're going to be bold enough to bully and lie on somebody. Team up with my twin sister who you knew is a damn perp. And then I found out in that same live stream, this is where I felt betrayed. That Tea Talks with Teresa, joined in on that live stream for what? That's when I finally felt betrayed by Tea Talks with Teresa, because I warned her more than once about my twin sister and her cult and all the ones attacking and ganging up on her. And so, they try to make I don't know what reason why she did that. Why did you join in my twin sister's live stream? But before then, Teresa would dish out advice that seems like if she said that she was trying to help, but it seemed like as if she was damaging me more or trying to get me to damage myself more. I know my legs were swollen and everything, but for her to, be manipulative and fear-mongering about how I should go to the hospital or trying to say that I had heart failure, now I'm stuck with a $125 medical bill. And they had a few other people who were trying to suggest to me that it seemed like as if Tea Talks with Teresa was perping me, or a fake nice perp or a subtle perp. So, excuse me, it seemed like as if she eventually, after a while, started to act like she's trying to help, but then trying to do more harm than good. And I don't know if she had good intentions or bad intentions, but I didn't know that Tea Talks with Teresa, that she had a metaphysical shop. So if you got a metaphysical store or shop or something, you're a new ager or an occultist, and I can't be friends with somebody like that. Excuse me, I thought that she was a Christian. So, when Tea Talks with Teresa, when she joined my twin sister's live stream, that's when I felt really betrayed. I'm like, because once somebody do that, then they start siding with and defending and agreeing with my twin sister and going against me. Certain people try to say that they're here to support both of us, but y'all don't see that my twin sister is bullying me and has try to go out of her way to be as disrespectful and abusive as possible towards me. But then, I started to feel bad, and I felt like, well, maybe the perps, they manipulated for me and Tea Talks with Teresa to not be friends anymore, or they wanted to take a supporter away from me. And, excuse me, that perp that used to call herself Sunshine, but now she calls herself You Wish or something like that. The one who tried to say that I should drop dead and that she wanted me to put down like a rabid dog. So that perp, Sunshine, You Wish, or whatever, she had You know, what made me more mad was she tried to say that Tea Talks with Teresa is a cheap handler of candy. And she's manipulating candy and this and that or whatever. And that pretty much further made me more upset and just drove me away from everything and everybody. You know. And Teresa was not any handler of mine. You know. But they were so mad at me having any kind of support. You know. And they manipulated and didn't want me with any support. Because they felt like I didn't deserve it. Excuse me. And another thing, one time Tea Talks with Teresa, I don't know if she did it on purpose or by accident. And I know she's not a targeted individual. But I don't know how much she knows about TIs and gang stalking. But, oh, and one time, Teresa made me mad. After I got my apartment, she mentioned commented on one of my community posts and said, positive thoughts only. And I'm like, oh, hell no. You talk like that, me and you can't be friends. Because I got to fight and stand up against this doggone gang stalking. You know. So, and then after Tea Talks with Teresa came out of my twin sister's live stream, and then she came on my channel, on my community post, and then try to tell me to stay away from them and their negativity. But like, wait a minute. You voluntarily went into my, knowing what type of people they are. You voluntarily went on my own twin sister's live stream and said who knows what. And then you come after and tell me to not go look back on my twin sister's page and any of that negativity. And I felt you were being hypocritical with that. You know. So, and it's like, I'm not going to let any outsider or non-family member to try to tell me, stay off my twin sister's YouTube page. But then you hypocritically watching all of her lies about me. Darius did that to me. In the beginning of the fake friendship, he was supposed to be targeted like me. And then he turned out to be an abusive, narcissistic perp. Sadistic perp. And you know, Darius made the fake friendship. Darius was a perp sent to me. And a fake TI perp playing both sides. You know. So, like, with the situation with LaShawn Monique, and I said that I felt devastated and hurt, that I felt like, oh, she blocked me or whatever. And Teresa, she made a comment that said, I will never block you, you know. But I didn't want to ever have to block Teresa or Miss Teresa, you know, Mrs. Teresa. She's married, Mrs. Teresa, you know. But one time, I don't know if she did it on purpose or by accident, but she texted me at like 10:33 in the morning. You know. Or messaged me at 10:33 in the morning. And I don't know if she did it on purpose or by accident. And she was telling me about how I should go to the hospital and telling me about how I have heart failure or whatever. Excuse me. Excuse me. And so then, excuse me. And then when she was trying to give me resources or maybe some hotel or motel vouchers, I was told that there are no ways to get hotel or motel vouchers in New Orleans. And one of the first person she mentioned was Valerie Coffin. That was the first person out of all that she mentioned. And I don't know if she did that on purpose or by accident. Mention Valerie Coffin from Unity and Unity of Greater New Orleans or whatever. And the majority of the people that she suggested that I email or contact, they pretty much ignored my emails, calls, and never responded to me. Or a couple of them said that that the agencies or organizations said that they don't do hotel or motel vouchers or whatever. And I still keep hearing people say that shelters are full. Even here in New Orleans, people say shelters are full. So, I don't even know if they beat Tea Talks with Teresa. I don't know if they beat her into submission and turned her into a perp. Or if she already was a fake nice perp that was subtle the whole time and I didn't catch red flags. But she's supposed to be, helping to fight against human trafficking. And people say gang stalking is human trafficking. But they had this organization on TikTok, Beyond Duality. And they got hateful and blocked me on TikTok for nothing. For nothing. I forgot whether they blocked or unfollowed me. For nothing. And they were supposed to be, fighting against human trafficking. And so, but it seems like when you're targeted, you don't have anyone you can trust or turn to. Wow, they're making my nose itch right now. So, but Teresa, she acted like as if she was not scared of the threats from the gang stalkers. I don't have Facebook anymore, but they were even threatening her on Facebook. These vigilante, whatever you want to call it, monitoring spirits or vigilante demon perps. They are vicious and abusive in a way that I cannot comprehend. My twin sister and my family, they're cold-hearted, cruel, and vicious and sadistic in ways that I cannot comprehend. As I said, all the years that y'all robbed me of money and took advantage of me, But as I said, I don't even know if Yvonne treated me the way she treated me a couple of weeks ago because maybe she heard that lie about me. Oh, I'm glad that Blake is dead. I never in my life said that. And I never in my life felt like I'm glad that Blake is dead. I was fucking hurt and traumatized. And at that time, I was already suicidal from Lisa Ruby and Tracy Broadhurst, their abuse towards me. And then everything came crumbling down and reality set in. And I couldn't handle dealing, And this other lady had told me that Oh, I behoove you to research narcissistic abuse. And then I read up on narcissistic abuse after the lady suggested it to me. Because she was trying to tell me that Lisa Ruby was a narcissist. And so I felt like such a horrible person that, like, wow, I feel like they're talking about me. You know? And then I confronted the lady about it. And the lady said, no, you are not a narcissist. And she was I think she was trying to tell me that I am an empath. And that I'm a victim of, have been a victim of narcissistic abuse. Because at first I was, like, I had reached out to her and wanted to talk to her about these blog articles that she put about betrayal. You know. Yeah, and so that's when me and her started to talk. And then we would have emailing each other back and forth about narcissistic abuse and narcissistic families. You know. And, you know, then, you know, after I found out that Blake got shot and killed, then, like, right when, you know, before going down to the funeral, you know, and probably afterwards too, I felt suicidal and couldn't handle the trauma and the shock of, you know, what happened to Blake. And so, I remember, I think it was the week that Blake got shot and killed. A lady in an apartment complex in Greenville, South Carolina, her name was Regina. I didn't realize her and her son were perps too. And, excuse me, and Miss Regina, she acted like a narcissistic, control freak, fake friend. And very bossy and controlling. And I didn't realize, come to think of it, she was a perp too. And her son. You know. And she falsely professed to be Christian. But she was worldly, you know. Excuse me. And so it was a Friday after Blake got shot and killed, but before going down to the funeral. And what happened was, it was extremely cold that day. I don't think it was snowing, but it was cold and I think rainy that day. And all my clothes were probably dirty. And I probably had just those clothes left. And I probably ran out of food or something. And didn't have a whole lot of money. And went across the street. It wasn't directly across the street. It was like maybe a couple of blocks down. You know, to that Dollar General. And I was grieving Blake's death and didn't know how to cope. And, you know, I had did something that I hadn't done in a long time. But with the biological mom, Frances, like before she died, I think my weight was down to 240 or 245. After she died, you know, and the biological dad, Arthur, and then the abuse that the fake LA people that they inflicted on me, the way they treated me, I gained all that weight back from 245 all the way up to like 279 or something. And I was, grieving the biological parents' death and overeating, trying to cope. And so, and then dealing with people that's going to call other fat people calling me fat and greedy. And that Regina lady was kind of fat herself. She wasn't skinny. And so she had loud-capped me and mocked and made fun of me buying junk food and then telling me you're gonna get sick. And then trying to make it like I was crazy for walking out there in the cold and rain, with her, maybe I had on a jacket, t-shirt and jacket and shorts or something, and flip-flops or something, So I bought some Little Debbie donut sticks, and I don't remember what other food. But I ate half the package when I got home, and then later on ate the other 3 donut sticks. And I had the same kind of shakes that I had back in October of 2016, because I had 5 pralines in one setting, feeling depressed about Lisa Ruby and Tracy Broadhurst, their abuse, them using the Bible to manipulate, control, and abuse me. And then I'm sitting here figuring out, am I a narcissist or whatever, And so a lot of people have been telling me that they think that I'm an empath, and that they see a lot of light in me, that I'm full of light or whatever. Excuse me. And they said that the lady that told me about narcissistic abuse, she told me that people see the light of a conscience in you, So she said that people see the light of a conscience in me. And quite a few other people were saying that I'm full of light and that I have a conscience, But the way narcissistic abusers treat me like I don't know no better. And also question whether or not they also had me questioning whether or not I'm a reprobate mind. But I know I never made any contracts or deals as an adult. You don't know what the hell is going on as a kid, but as an adult, I know I never made any satanic contracts or never made a deal with the devil. Because if I did, I wouldn't be in this predicament right now, and they wouldn't be. I got screenshots showing y'all about the fake Darnell Williams perp harassing me, telling me I should sell my soul. And so when the fake, I have not even checked up on LaShawn Monique lately. I stayed far away, And I was mainly commenting. You know what? I had I think that LaShawn Monique blocked me when I try to spread the word and share and support for her to and I didn't mean any harm at all. To spread and share the word to get her some help and donations. And I don't know if the perps went to attack and harass her too. I don't know. And maybe that might have been why she blocked me. I don't know. But I'm really sorry. And so I kind of really think that Tea Talks with Teresa didn't have bad intentions. But the perps manipulated for us to lose friendship. And I felt like I wanted to apologize to Tea Talks with Teresa, and try to work things out. But at the same time, I feel betrayed that she voluntarily went into that live stream by my twin sister. And I basically have nobody on my side, nobody I can talk to, even in the TI community. Everybody will shut me out and nobody will listen to me warning and telling people about my twin sister's abuse and gang stalking. But fake TI perps that play both sides will brick wall me and tell me they don't want to hear any drama or negativity, and then sneak behind my back and be siding with my twin sister and gossiping and perping right along and bullying. And telling surveillance as if she still be on my twin sister's page and trying to help my twin sister make me look crazy. But if you're a true targeted individual, you will have discernment that you see the shit that I'm going through. My twin sister does not have any videos of herself being kicked out of somewhere, sabotaged, gang stalked, or having this and that go on with her and her being upset and distressed. I mean, upset and in distress. But, my twin sister has idle time. I feel like it's unfair for people that's supposed to be family who think that they got authority over you to try to boss, control, order you around, bully, and tell you what to do, but don't want to help nobody. My twin sister refuses to reconcile with me. And if she does, she try to make like everything has to be under certain conditions. But she can, Wyatt doesn't have any limitations on what he can talk about with her. But she'll try to control me and Sean because she thinks that she's better and think that we're retarded and slow. But people have called, a lot of us family member, the biological family, have been called a retarded family. That if we all seen by society as mentally off, slow, and retarded and crazy, or, for so many years they try to brainwash me to believe that mental illness runs in the family. Well, if that's the case, why the whole family ain't being targeted? Because I've heard certain stories about people being targeted individuals, and they'll say that the entire family being targeted. That one person, like you might have a cousin that will sell out the whole family for insurance money or inheritance or something like that. And to be behind money. And the whole entire family being targeted because of a money-hungry, greedy, crooked cousin or something. But they have times where they have certain people that's targeted and singled out and ostracized by their family. Now, if I would have had kids, or if I would have been married, I don't know. I heard that if you're a targeted individual and you're married or whatever, your spouse and kids, they try to get your spouse and kids to be abusive. Or they would target and hit your kids with directed energy weapons. Or attack your pets with weapons. Cause your dog to vomit or something. Or cause your cat to have nosebleeds. But, for me to have been here from January 2nd, and then I leave tomorrow. As the days and nights go by, the directed energy attacks have been getting worse. And they are killing people. And they nearly killed me, and they were trying to electronically murder me in Bloomington. That's another reason why I can't go back there. I mean, they attacked me so bad up in there. You know, when I hardly left that cabin, and then, you know, late April, I was treated with abuse for the first time I tried to do laundry. You know, and then traumatized and terrorized and afraid to go do laundry or go to the store. And then they try to sabotage my only transportation. And the gang stalked me so heavy in such a small town. And then it was the most depressing summer. It felt like I was in prison. It was the most depressing summer that I've ever endured in the 40 years. Well, I was still 39 at that time, but I'll say the 40 years of my doggone life. So depressing and miserable that you had to stay inside all summer long. And then, they attacked me, with the weapons, and gang stalked me so heavy. And then I had that traumatic situation with Social Security. And having daily panic attacks, nonstop. because the online perps, they sick that lady on me like a dog. And I wish I could break all the way from Social Security and SSI. But as I said, the foster mom, the Social Security Administration in New Orleans told me that the foster mom committed fraud. Even though I am disabled. But I wish that I could have had my own entrepreneurial or my own self-employed. And people say that in the TI community that self-employed is the best way to go. But I need help or direction on how could I do this. But if I try to ask questions about prepping and survival or self-employment or even getting a job or whatever, a lot of people say, well, you got to get housing first in order to get a job. Or you got to get a job first in order to get housing. Just like you have to have a car in order to get a driver's license, and you got to have a license in order to get a car. You got to have a car in order to get a job, or a job in order to get a car. Because a lot of these jobs say that they won't hire you unless you got to have your own car and proof of insurance. So, yeah, I'm glad that I don't know if, excuse me, if they try to instill fear or manipulate Tea Talks with Teresa, or if they turned her into a perp. And then there was another person who was telling me that they felt like Tea Talks with Teresa was perping her. Another person that's supposed to be targeted. But then that person stopped talking to me. So I had never sold out. I had never taken any deals, and I don't perp anyone, but I have been falsely accused of, but it'd be like the narcissistic control freak fake TI perps using projection and deflecting and manipulating and causing confusion and playing all kinds of games. Because that's what certain people will do. Approach me and butter me up and tell me everything that they think I want to hear. They wait till I'm at my lowest. And then they'll approach me and want to butter me up and tell me what they think I want to hear. And start donating. And then slowly but surely, with the fake friendship, they start to be secretly and covertly pull away the rug of support and make like I'm supposed to deal with the targeting on my own. And then they start to be like very sadistic and vicious and cruel. Like Darius. That Darius Hollins perp. And then he lied on me and said that I am a fake spy agent with a Black Widow complex. But you're the one who has inside knowledge and know far more about this technology than I do. And you got inside knowledge on Freemasonry. You know, so I don't know if Darius turned into a perp after he got hit by a car, or if he was already a perp. And then he tried to scapegoat and blame me and lie and say that it was my fault he got hit by a car. How if I was homeless in Pensacola, Florida, and then you're all the way in the Los Angeles metro area? And I was very confused. You know, he waited months later, but then, you know, he admitted that he was drinking alcohol. You know, the day that he went off on me and lectured me for like 2 hours or 4 hours or something. You're younger than me. You don't have a right to do that. To lecture somebody that's older than you. You know, and so last year, no, it was 2022, that Darius lectured me and went off on me, and he felt troubled about his own sister. And then he was drinking alcohol because he was troubled about and was upset, and then took it out on me. And then he started to link up with my twin sister. You know, I'm surprised that I even healed some from the abuse and the trauma that he inflicted on me. Because I never did him shit. And I tried as best as I could to be supportive of him right back and look out for him and everything. But he told me, don't go look back on your twin sister's page. And then, before I know it, it seemed like he was secretly behind my back watching my twin sister's videos. And dismissing anything and brickwalling anything I had to say about my targeting. Like as if I don't have a right to feel traumatized or be traumatized. And then he copied my twin sister and her cult, but lying on me and falsely accusing me of pretending to be targeted and traumatized for attention, pity, sympathy, and money. And that's not the case. You know, and then Darius will be perping me doing a fake Twitter space and then secretly mute and ban me from there, but pretending like I could just listen in, but then making it like he don't know how, like he was gaslighting the fuck out of me and perping me. You know, so he betrayed me for no reason at all. And then manipulated and lied to everybody and spent a false narrative lying and saying that I'm a CIA, that I'm an agent perping him. I have zero ties or much knowledge about the CIA, FBI, the DOJ, the DHS fusion centers. Even though I'm targeted, I don't have a whole lot of knowledge about the fusion centers. Let's see, CIA, FBI, and what's the other one? The Department of Homeland Security. Yeah, that's DHS fusion center. There's another one, CIA, FBI, and I can't think of the other one. What they call the alphabet agencies. It'll come back to me, I guess. But yeah, I don't even have much knowledge. And then they have a lot of people like Miss Samantha and several other fake TI perps, whether they pretend to be Christian or not, that they talk to me and communicate with me. And then Trisha did the same thing, secretly pretending to be a friend towards me and talking to me on the phone and pretend like they're supporting donate, and then secretly behind my back going and supporting and defending and agreeing with my twin sister. And that's why I be getting like 100 views and maybe only 3 thumbs up on my videos, or maybe even 1, or sometimes none. And then my twin sister thinks she's having a field day with thinking that she thinks she got control over telling people how to treat me, and then falsely painting me as the narcissist when it's her. When she thinks she got authority over me. I don't act like I think I got authority over my twin sister, or power or rulership over her. As I said, my twin sister, I'm a family member that she talked bad about, and then later on felt like she needed me for help. Back in 2002, 3, 4, 5, or whatever. No, not 2002, but 2003, 4, 5, or whatever. Before Hurricane Katrina, when I was living in New Orleans Towers, she would go to, go to my neighbors and slander me to my neighbors, and then pop up at my apartment complex demanding money out of me and try to manipulate and threaten and blackmail me. Or if I didn't have any money to give, she would, her and Dwayne, they would block my number. And then I would end up having panic attacks wondering what did I do. And then them treating me like that resorted into me ending up taking out, credit card and everything. But after Hurricane Katrina, I don't do credit card. I don't take out loans or none of that, Excuse me. I don't even qualify for credit card or loans anymore, really. But in 2006, when I got to New York, my family had damaged me enough that my credit was considered so bad that I couldn't even open up a bank account anywhere. But because of why it set me up, I'm still stuck with that bank account in Wisconsin. Then I have not been able to go back there and close the account, but I've been forced to do banking with that bank for almost 20 years. But I guess it's been working out all these years. Because I don't think I would ever, or I don't think I would ever set foot back. I don't have any reason. I don't think I ever would set foot back in Milwaukee again. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I wish I would have never gone to Milwaukee. But I didn't realize that I was targeted, and I didn't realize Los Angeles was bad. But I'm glad I was able to vent. I don't care if it took me 3 hours. If my video bothers you, why are you watching? So if you watch this far at just about 2 hours and 55 minutes, you wanted to be here. If you don't want to watch, if you didn't want to watch, you didn't have to click on this video or watch. But y'all want to give false proof of that Candy's crazy. If you're a real targeted individual, you wouldn't be calling other TIs crazy. So that tele-surveillance is a manipulative fake TI perp playing both sides. Let me see something. Yep. So the fake Darnell Williams perp made more fake harassing comments saying, Brandy asked a question, will you answer? And then he made a second fake new account called Greedy Schizophrenic Grand Perp. But y'all the perps and then lie to the TI community saying that I perp people. So, excuse me. So, yeah, my twin sister won't treat me with the same respect that she would have for Ramona and Yvonne and Monica and Rebecca and all them. She feels like it's a must for her to treat me like I'm lower than her. Or think she's superior because that's what the foster family brain and the fake IDMR cult or whatever, what they brainwashed her to believe. But my twin sister would rather be loyal to a cult, more than one cult, and money. As I said, that broke my heart to see the twin who beat up the killer in court for killing his twin brother. And here my own twin sister wants me dead and can't wait for me to die and will rejoice when I die and saying that I'm asking for to be killed or murdered. My twin sister won't even be on my side or be supportive. And then Darius was saying during the fake friendship, he was saying that if Brandy was to support me, that she would have to go through this gang stalker persecution as well. As I said, in 2017, I nearly succeeded at winning her soul to Jesus Christ. But, it seems like not only my twin sister, but excuse me, I can never trust my family. Because y'all would rather be loyal to money and gang stalking than my soul. Family members who can care less about me and would rather believe that I don't exist. Even the biological brother Derek, hating and avoiding and staying away from me for so many years, didn't even get to know me. But I heard that it was all started with Mark smear campaigning us to the family. Then Wyatt went and smear campaigned us to the family. And then my twin sister smear campaigned me to the family. I was the last one to come out of foster care to the family. And I didn't have any control over that, with the foster mom still controlling and telling us that we can't see the biological family even after us being 18 and 19 years old. And then after Belinda died, that's when we started, and we were 19 going on 20. that was when we started to have more dealings with the biological family. And come to find out, not having good experiences. But, I mean, if my twin sister has any questions to ask me, it's none of the fake Darnell Williams perp or the other online perps. That's none of their business. That's between us. And it's like they would rather keep us apart and keep us separated. And keep her as part of their side. Because some people say that if my twin sister break the oath and go against them, she would be unalived. And I bet you she probably knows that too. And she's scared. She's even admitted to me in the past that she's scared to leave the IDMR cult. I don't know if she knows what it's like to go hungry. Or to be forced out in the cold all night in 20-something degree weather with no car. Does she know what that? Has she experienced that before? But thankfully, I'm glad I didn't have to go like multiple days in a row or weeks without eating. Being homeless. But that's what the perps have been aiming for. For me to starve and freeze to death. Because I won't join. Nope, my soul cannot be bought. Nope. If you're doing me hurtful things, I feel like, what's the point of me selling my soul? What's the point of me selling out and I still can't go back to the places where I'm wrongfully banned from? They're not going to say, oh, you sold your soul? Okay, you can come back to Bodacious now. Or you can come back to the Hilton Riverside now. Or, you can come back to Everman now. Or you can come back to Oasis Motel now. Or you can come back to the Marriott or the Sheraton Hotel. Or whatever other places. Or you can come back to the airport now. All the places I've been wrongfully kicked out of and banned from. Or me selling out, it's not gonna make my family love me anymore. It's not gonna make my family members. It's not gonna make Monica want to reconcile with me. So what's the point? Why? Selling your soul is a big fucking scam, and that's why these freaking celebrities are on drugs and depressed, unhappy. But then they're told that there's no way out. But I've heard stories of people saying that even if somebody sold their soul to the devil, that there is still hope for them to turn their... I don't know, but I've heard people say that there is still hope for you to turn to Jesus Christ and repent and confess your sins and start to do right. And God could protect you from, those things, from the perps or devils trying to kill you. Even in the Old Testament, I think it's in 2 Kings, and then in the Bible it mentions, sold their souls to do evil in the sight of the Lord. In the Old Testament, if people sinned or did wrong, a lot of the times I read that people were killed outright. But in the New Testament, Jesus Christ being gracious and merciful, that he don't want us to perish or die and go to hell. and that he wants us to repent. And I still need to repent and change my ways and better myself. You know, but there's even hope for my twin sister to, get from underneath that cult, the IDMR cult and gang stalking. And for the first time, turn to the real Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. All of my family, any of them. If my family could be a worshiping and praying family that's not Catholic, but real Jesus Christ, not the counterfeit fake Jesus Christ. Which the counterfeit other Jesus is the devil. Another Jesus, another spirit, that's the devil. And people even say Catholicism and all these cults or whatever is devil worship in another form, and that there's only one narrow way to serve Jesus Christ, but multiple broad ways to serve the devil. So I'm not here to preach or chastise. It ain't my place or authority, but I'm trying to spread the truth. So, there's even hope that the fake Darnell Williams perp can, repent. And Aquarium Doris, if they can repent and turn it to the real Jesus Christ. But, so these people be so dedicated to Satan. And people will have more pleasure in doing evil than doing right. I know with committing sins or whatever, I even struggle to resist. Even if it's a sin of, the sin of, eating too many donuts. But I haven't done that in a long time, But, I don't know how much space I have on my phone, but thanks for listening to me over 3 hours, because I don't know where I'll be tomorrow, or if I'll have internet access tomorrow, or the future days. I don't know if or when I'll have internet access, or what hotel or motel I might be at, So I don't know yet. So thanks for listening to me. It is now 9:47 p.m. I feel a relief and a release of burden to vent and just get it out. I probably should have done a live stream, but I didn't do a live stream because I just needed to talk uninterrupted. So thanks for listening to me. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.